Welcome back, everyone, and a new member before we even get going today. Dang, you know that puts me in a good mood. Not many to go now until we reach 100. Oh, yeah. Some jamming tunes going on there. Oh, yes, indeed. We've got Nana coming in. Nana's causing trouble at airports. Come on, Nana, calm down. It's a safe space now. Let the temperature just go down a little bit below simmering. We've also got Mart in there. We've got Queen Goddess Austin, one of our newest members to the KBS family. Louisa as well, our newest member. Yes, indeed. I see Jason in there. Clive. G.G. Kent, like the name. Lee Veltman in there as well. Brandy. Gordon. Yes, indeed. Nancy as well. Who else we got in here if I scroll back up? We have got Kevin. Great name. Nothing as it seems. Isn't that a fact? That's what I want on my tombstone, actually. Put that in my headstone. Nothing is as it seems. Indeed. And I tell you what, this could be quite apt, actually, for one of our first stories today. Remember to pick up your crayons and turn down the volume as you come into the safe space. We don't want to trigger anyone in here, right? We've got a Hod God in there. Gordon, a.k.a. Clone Mad. Are you clone mad or a mad clone? That's the question. Fred, my good friend from all the way over there in Portugal. We've got Susie as well, all the way from sunny Wales. How is it down in Wales today, Susie? It's spookily warm in Glasgow today. I know, I can't figure it out either. Vardon Guero in the house. Gordon M again. Armand. Who else we got scrolling up towards the top here now? Let's see. Anyone I've missed out? I've probably missed out hundreds, thousands. We've got the Audi lover in there. T-Man. Yes, indeed. And Requiem. Indeedy. So then, if I've missed anyone out, don't worry. I'll be coming back into the chat as we go on. Don't worry about that. Got lots to get into today. And we'll be looking forward to a new guest on KBS today as well. Danny Arnold McKenney is going to be my guest on there later. I can't wait for that one. But how you all doing? You all glad we're back in the comfort of the safe space? And I need to change the ridiculously big font of the chat box. What's going on there? What is going on there? I hear you saying. I have no idea, folks. No idea. Let's see how that looks. It'll come up in a minute. How you all doing then? All good? All raring to go? I hope so. I hope so. And yeah, like I was saying, we're going to have a new guest on the show tonight. We are going to be having Danny Arnold McKenney on the show. She's in charge of a big group over on Facebook, the Un-F-Bombers Unite. Yes, I can't use the real name of it. Don't want to trigger the algorithm this early in the video, folks. But we're going to be taking a little look at one of our latest videos. And today we're going to be getting into the magnetics, the time shift, the Mandelas, all the good things with my good friend Danny. And myself and Danny, we've got a very, very strong mutual friend in Nancy. And a big shout out to Nancy. She's still not keeping too well. And hopefully we'll get her back in here soon. But myself and Danny, we do shows at the same time of day. So it's quite hard for me and Danny to listen to one another. But what Nancy would be doing was she'd be listening to me, she'd be listening to Danny's. And the thing is, it's quite hard to really separate some of the shows that myself and Danny have done in the past. So I've got that little gut feeling, folks, and I've spoke to Danny once, and I've got the gut feeling that this could well be an absolutely amazing 2 hours of radio later. And not only that, yes, it will be on the home of the Kev Baker Show, tfrlive.com, but we'll also be simulcasting here for all of you as well. So I hope that makes your day, because it makes mine. It sure does. And Charlie Robinson just sneaked into the chat room there. What an absolutely brilliant show with Charlie last night. It's one of those shows where I wake up today and I'm already getting emails about just how informative it was. Armand in the chat room earlier, he's going back to check out the whole thing because it really was a lot of information crammed into those 2 hours. You probably need to go back, listen to it again, take some notes, because that's the thing I love about Charlie. He does so many radio shows, but he never does the same show twice. And what I mean is he always prepares thoroughly before he comes on here to the Kev Baker Show. Not because of me, but because he appreciates all of you out there like to go even deeper than most are willing to do. So a big shout out to my brother from another mother, Charlie. Yes, indeed. And folks, I was going to tell you that we only needed 12 new members. 12 new members until we reach 100. Then I'm sitting here getting ready to do the show, and all of a sudden, I hear the diddly-dit. We're a new subscriber. So now we only need 11 new members until we unlock the next emoji. Could it be Charlie's big shiny bald head? Or more likely, probably the hairy hands that we've been talking about recently. And hairy hands, my friends, let's make the most of hairy hands, because I'm going to get into some stuff later on, not too far into the show, that really will question or bring into question whether hairy hands or male hands in general are soon to be a thing of the past. Yes, indeed. So I better check this message. Yeah, I had to check this message because it's the governor. It's Anne. You don't ignore a message from Anne, folks. Yep, you could play it. I could like have it short-lived. I could make fun of it right now. We could have a laugh and a joke. But I know I'm getting the shoe as soon as she comes in if I don't answer that. You know I'm getting the shoe. And talking of shoes, that was the last emoji that we actually unlocked here on the channel. And if you want to become a member, you don't have to, but if you do want to, all you do is click that button there, and this brings you to this page here. And you get 3 options then. Very, very budget option that anyone will be able to participate in. Then we go up to $4.99 a month, and the top's out at $8.99 a month. But honestly, folks, any tier opens up all of the perks that you get. And hopefully one of these Sundays, since Charlie's in the chat room, I'll kind of shame him into it. Maybe myself and Charlie will do a members-only chat stream on a Sunday sometime. Went really well with Nano Girl, so hopefully we can bring in a few guests along the way as well. Maybe we'll just make it a very safe space. We'll lock Charlie in the VIP lounge, and we will get down and we will get highly, highly mad. Yes, because you see, myself and Charlie, we've both got this desire just to make fun of the ridiculousness in the world. And that's going to come to the fore as we go on in this show as well. So are you ready for it? We're going to get into some of this stuff. Lots of good stuff today. We've got Fortnite derangement syndrome. Yes, we've got my piece on where the hell did all the men go. And we're going to be starting with what I have to call the ultimate last laugh. The ultimate last laugh. But before we get there, let's take a little listen to tonight's guest on the Kev Baker Show. Her name is Danny Arnold McKenney, and this is her here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Transconspicuous News. We're going to do a geomagnetic update. It is October 8th.
And yeah, she's got a highly, highly cool Canadian accent. I like the Canadian accent. Big fan of it. What can I say?
Now, I've put a few little geomagnetic updates out over the last 2 days because things have been a little crazy again. Well, no, let's not say again. That sounds like it stopped for a while. No, it's never stopped. Let's just say it reached a new level of crazy this last couple of days. There's some interesting shit going on. Today, specifically, though, I went onto Facebook, and Facebook does those memories for you. Oh, look, 4 years ago, 2015, I posted a geomagnetic update. And the images are worth noting. And I thought it was well worth sitting here for a few minutes and showing you guys to give a perspective on the difference. So I'm going to take you back. We're going to look at what's going on right now, but I'm going to show you also what was going on exactly 4 years ago to the day.
And let's pause it there because I want you all to subscribe to Removing the Shackles channel, and I'll send you a link to the channel in the chat room. And this lady here is going to be on the Kev Baker Show later. Can't wait to get into all of this. She covers CERN as well, quantum computers. Like I say, it's almost as if she's the female version of the Kev Baker Show. I think that's the highest compliment I could pay anyone, right? Right, I think. Nothing kind of too narcissistic there, of course. I'm only joking, but no, if you like me, you're going to like Danny. I can assure you of that. So I don't know about all of you, but I've been feeling a bit loopy, a bit mad, a bit crazy, a bit kind of, should we say, lunatic. But it stands to reason because UK last night, check that bad boy out. We had the Hunter's Moon over here. I'm sure Paul Begley was telling people that it would be the end of the world again until the next Hunter's Moon. But we're still here, folks. And yes, the moon, my good friend Kristen out there, I know that the last full moon that we had definitely affected her, sparked an interest in astrology, no less. So yeah, I seen that picture today and I thought that is absolutely epic. Absolutely fantastic. And a good setup, for where we're going to go now. Because, hang on now. Damn. Oh, I crapped myself there, folks. I started hearing an ice cream van. And immediately in my mind, I've been watching the TV show Mr. Mercedes. The bad dude in that, he drives an ice cream van. Thought Mr. Mercedes was coming for me. No, it's the ice cream van. I don't even know if it sells ice cream. That's the kind of area I live in, Glasgow. I think if you give them the right wink, the right nudge, who knows what you could get out of said van. A van of ill repute. Who knows? I'll probably get a knock on the door in a minute now. But now that I've got over that initial scare where I'm talking about full moons and going lunatic and just about to get into having a laugh with y'all to set us up and put us in the right frame of mind for the safe space today, a bloody ice cream van derails me. Go figure. So yeah, myself and Charlie, we often talk about the fact, the need, indeed, to have a laugh. Because the world's kind of crazy. And one thing they can't take away from us, is our laughter, is our ability to see the funny in everything, even sometimes the darkest of situations. And this next story here for me takes things to a whole new level. It's the kind of thing that practical jokers like me dream about doing, but never quite know how to pull it off. So what am I talking about? Well, this guy here, he got the ultimate last laugh. Oh, yes, indeed. A dead man gets the last laugh at his funeral with an unexpected prank. So he wanted to make sure my mum would be laughing leaving the cemetery, not crying, his daughter told the HuffPost. So it says a man in Dublin, and I'm sorry, but there was only one geographical location that this dude could come from, okay? Only in Ireland. Not even us Scots have a sense of humour like the Irish, all right? They're unique. They're brilliant people. Truly brilliant. It says here, a man in Dublin, Ireland, decided to inject a little humour into his funeral on Saturday by playing a prank on his loved ones. So what did he do? I hear you all saying. Well, Shay Bradley, a Defence Forces veteran who died on October the 8th after a long illness, bravely born, according to his obituary, shocked, then delighted funeral goers when they suddenly heard his voice shouting from his coffin as it was being lowered into the ground. So they're all standing there, everyone's dabbing away the tears, and it's sad, but I don't think this guy intended for anyone to be crying over his death, or especially at his funeral, because just as the pallbearers were starting to put the coffin into the ground, do you know what he done? Well, all of a sudden, people started hearing, hello, hello, let me out of here. Stunned attendees heard in a pre-recorded message that also included knocking, let me out, against the coffin's lid. So yeah, here it is here.
Hello? Hello? Let me out! Where the fuck am I? Hello? Hello? Let me out! It's fucking dark in here.
I'm sorry, but that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And, you know, I'm sure that's exactly the way that this gentleman, Shay Bradley, would have expected all of us to react. You know, he's obviously somebody that was full of life when he was here in this physical plane. And I don't know. I find that as, like I say, it takes some topping, folks. I think that has to be the ultimate last laugh.
Where the fuck am I? Is that priest I can hear? Let me out! Hello! Hello! Stop the mask! Stop, I can hear you! Hello! Hello! Please! Hello!
Just make sure you let people know you're going to do this if you're intending on doing this. Because if you just do this on the quiet, like if you somehow get the Undertaker told beforehand to get your coffin rigged up with this stuff and you don't tell anyone, I'm telling you, it's going to cause real trauma when people are like, try to get you out the coffin and things. Whoa!
Saw that yesterday, Kev. The funeral prank. Superb. Only us Irish. Want to go that way myself, lol. Love the bagpipes set it. Superb.
Yes, superb, Germanus. Thank you so much, brother. And absolutely. And again, exactly. Only the Irish. Absolutely only the Irish could do that. They're a unique bunch of people. They truly are. 2 secs. There we go. Yeah, see, I'm in demand, folks. I don't know what it is. The show blowing up, the safe space, the nightly show. I don't know what it is. People just can't get enough of the Kev Baker show these days. And it's still going off. I need to switch the phone off when we do these streams. But sometimes I get alerted to the fact that the audio isn't working. Sometimes the stream altogether isn't working. And so it's trying to find that balance. You know me, I'm addicted to my phone. I'm one of these phone zombies. I get it. I'm only joking. I'm not that bad. But yeah, it goes on to say here, where the F am I? Let me out. It's effing dark in here. Is that the priest I can hear? This is Shay. I'm in the box. No. An F in front of you. I'm dead. So those at the funeral can be seen giggling and wiping away tears as Shay Bradley's voice begins to sing, hello again, hello, hello. I just called to say goodbye. Wow. Wow, his daughter Andrea Bradley told HuffPost that her father recorded the audio about a year ago and that no one really knew about it other than her brother Jonathan and her nephew Ben. Now, 2 days before the funeral, Jonathan Bradley, thank goodness, somebody in the chat room, please tell me you're like having a laugh, Connor Bud. You don't get it? The dude's dead. So he thought he'd have a laugh with people because you've always everyone's had that conversation, right? What would happen if you get buried alive? You're in the coffin and you don't know what to do. I think it's funny. I don't know, but I'm sick. So Connor says, what? So he died and set up a prank for his death to make it seem like he was alive? No, he just set up a joke. It's just a joke. Just to try and make people laugh at what would normally be a very sad and somber affair. And I would guess that Shay, Mr. Bradley, he's not the kind of guy that liked, somber, kind of sad affairs. Sounds to me like he was definitely the ultimate practical joker. And at any party, I would imagine he'd have been the life and soul of it. He'd have been kind of eyes in the back of your head to make sure you weren't going to be the butt of this dude's joke. I can tell this kind of character right away. So it says here that 2 days before Shay Bradley's funeral, Jonathan Bradley decided to tell his mum and the rest of his siblings about the prank. Now, he told them that playing the audio at the funeral was his dad's dying wish. He wanted to make sure that my mum would be laughing, leaving the cemetery, not crying. And Andrea Bradley said of her dad, noting that her parents were childhood sweethearts and they were married for 43 years. And he's done just that. That's a beautiful story. I truly do. Andrea Bradley posted a video of her dad's stunt to Facebook on Sunday, and a Twitter user who wanted to remain anonymous said they stumbled upon the video on WhatsApp that same day and decided to share it on Twitter, where it's since gone viral. No wonder. Andrea Bradley shared a photo of the legend himself in the post reply on Sunday. So there he is. Like I say, you can just tell this guy's full of fun, even after passing. So a big shout out to him and his family. And yeah, I think that was a nice story. A nice way to start the stream. Very, very typical of the stream itself. Very light-hearted, even in the darkest of stories, the darkest of times. We still like to try and leave people, when the stream's said and done, have a laugh, have a smile on your face, because, it is the one thing they can't take away, and it does go such a long way to actually being the antidote that you need to the stupidity that's out there in the world right now. And man, oh man, boy oh boy, girl oh girl, it oh it, they oh they, z oh z. I don't know what else I have to say in this kind of little gender Olympic madness that we live in now. But it truly is a crazy, crazy world. And over the weekend, it wasn't just the moon that was driving people mad, folks. Oh, no, no, no. There was something far worse than the full moon that was providing people with so much to get mad about. And I spare a thought for all of the parents out there. I really do, because this weekend, if nothing else, we truly got to see the true, ugly, nasty, gnarling face of Fortnite derangement syndrome. What the hell is that all about? you sit here when you're streaming and you try not to pay attention to the chat when you're doing your thing, you know, when you're talking and that. But I miss so much absolute gems in there. And Fred, I mean, this to me, I nearly burst out laughing. But it says it all. I wish my dad had such a sense of humour, but he was German. Doesn't that say it all, folks? Doesn't that say it all? And yes, I see Mannerus in there. And I don't know, folks, I don't get to see the ads that play when I come to my own videos, right? Before we do the streaming things. But Kristen has been telling me that my ads are hilarious. Yes, the ads are hilarious. How can the ads be hilarious? You know I make a thing about being this toxic, hairy male. Well, there seems to be a high frequency of manscaping adverts that come on to the Kev Baker stream, and Dr. Squatch in particular. I don't know. Hey guys, if you want to reach out, I'm sure we could come to some lucrative deal. I don't know. But yeah, who knew it? The algorithm obviously knows me too well, folks. What's Fortnite? I hear you say. Woof. Even people that somehow had avoided knowing what Fortnite was. This weekend, it probably changed it all for everyone. Damn, I'm a gamer. Love my gaming, but whoa, some of the reactions over the weekend. Damn, I thought I was going to have to open up a special broadcast of the Fortnite safe space. Not for the kids who couldn't get onto the game, but for the parents who were trying to avoid their triggered children. Yeah, Fortnite derangement syndrome. It's here, folks, and it's on the way. Jason Merritt, don't even try to trigger me with such ammunition. Has anyone seen the new ad for girly things where men do things that girls can only do? Oh, I've no idea. Don't worry, that'll become probably relevant as we go on in today's stream. Yep, so then, first thing my son says to me today, first thing that comes out of him, not a good morning, Dad, not a looking good today, Dad, damn, for 43, you look really good, you know, really jamming it there, old man, nothing like that. He declared to me, it's back, Fortnite is up. Oh, dearie me, who's been watching this over the weekend? And I get some of you out there are lucky enough that you don't even know what Fortnite is. You lucky devils. Fortnite is a game that has taken the world by storm. It truly, truly has. And I don't get it. I don't get it. As somebody who's been a gamer most of my life, you know, usually a game comes out and you can spot the good ones. You can spot the ones that are going to be really something. And when I first seen Fortnite, I'd been playing PUBG. I'd been getting into a bit of Call of Duty, you know, first-person shooter kind of games. And online, you play up to like 100 people and things. It's great. But then Fortnite came along, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm one of these toxic males. It's far too soy boy for me, okay? There's like cartoon character type graphics, and they're running about hitting people with soft toys, and I don't get it. They build houses. It's crazy, right? But over the weekend, the world went absolutely mad. Because even here we've got a headline. Is Fortnite down? Is it just hype? And is it all Elon Musk's fault? Even Musk was getting the blame for a computer game crashing. And all joking aside, and this thing, Fortnite derangement syndrome, it's a tag that I've made up off the top of my head, right? But I tell you what, one game affecting so many millions of people around the world, who knew? And who knew the reaction, sometimes violent reaction, that some of the kids would be taking if they couldn't get that dopamine hit from their favourite game, Fortnite. Man, oh man. So what's been happening? Well, it says millions of players just watched as their favourite online multiplayer game was hit by an asteroid and turned into a black hole. Now, this is what usually happens at the end of one season, moving into the next. And Kevin was reliably informing me every couple of months there's updates to the map, and they go through this big event where the asteroid comes in, resets the world, and new things here, new things there. Only this time in a much anticipated update, like it says here, game disappeared and you were loading up and all you could see was a black hole. Just a black hole. So it says one Guardian staffer asked another to explain it. Good luck with that. So it says, Josh, my Twitter is flooded with people mourning the loss of Fortnite and blaming Elon Musk. And I really have no idea what's happening. Well, I'm glad you asked, Steph. So, Fortnite is a massive online multiplayer game played by 250 million people around the world. It's huge. And by all accounts, most of those people are all playing it right now because they're needing their fix. They had a weekend where they were withdrawing because they couldn't build their favourite treehouse or hit somebody over the head with a rubber mallet. I don't even know if a rubber mallet's a weapon in it, but that's the kind of thing you get, okay? Says here, you can't play the game right now. It's just a black hole. People naturally began freaking out. Now, we've seen this anytime social media goes down. I remember when PlayStation Network got hacked a couple of years ago as well, and I couldn't get in to play my FIFA. It took months. And of course, that was a big data breach. People stole all the ID, stuff like that. But this here was a planned update. And everything about it was planned. So we come down, it says RIP Fortnite Battle Royale. Full live reaction to the end. So this is where it all comes in. This is where you get the...
Right under the meteor. It's creating like an ultimate rift. How many rockets is this? The meteor's powering up!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my! Dude, look at the rift getting bigger!
The meter's going.
No!
The meter's going.
Holy Jesus!
What the meter went in the rift?
Wait, the meteor went in the rift? Or did it just save the
100%.
map?
Up. Look directly up. Oh my god.
Listen to the music. This is the end! This is the end! It's slowly falling! No! What was meant to happen the first time? It's going to the 0 point!
Yes.
It's going to the 0 point!
This is grown men
My God.
reacting like this.
Oh my God! What is going on? Look up! Look up!
Oh my
The
god.
meteor!
No way.
And the rockets!
If you didn't know these people were playing a game, this would sound like the soundtrack to the end of the world, right? Look up! It's the meteor!
It's the end!
Oh my gosh.
Look at that dude's face. He literally looks like his whole life is about to end.
Oh my God!
The dopamine that's squirting in that brain right now, my friend. Oh.
Bye, Greasy!
Goodbye, Reed.
Oh. Thanks for the memories! Wow.
Now
We're in the end game now, boys.
Oh my gosh. I think we're about to watch this.
Oh, we're getting sucked in. We can't control.
We're getting sucked in.
This is it. The battle bus. No. Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, I didn't realize that this was going to play into where on earth did all the men go segment of the show, but it does. And that was, I mean, I like my gaming. I'm a grown dude. I know. Grown men, father. I shouldn't be spending time gaming, right? But it's one of the ways I unplug. However, let me assure all of you out there, never do get in any kind of state that looks like that, okay? So it says here, Fortnite also deleted all of its tweets and it's running a live stream of said black hole both on Twitter and game streaming platform Twitch, which around 40 to 60,000 people were sitting glued to. Oh, black hole. Fortnite. Black hole. Fortnite. What the hell? I'm telling you, this is on a psychological level. Like, psychologists must be looking at this kind of thing. This must be an absolute gold mine and a real insight on how games are affecting people's minds and also how the mind works as well, I would imagine. But it says, according to some reports, the total number of viewers across all platforms is more than 6 million people sitting watching a black hole. Now, some numbers have been appearing around the black hole, and people are wondering whether they're clues. Yeah, we've got people absolutely, freaking out. There's a number. This is no joke. Fortnite game are fully trolling us. If you type in the numbers 11, 146, 15, and 62 to Google Maps in Google and click the first link, you get a street view of a crab rave. Methinks you might overthink this just a little. Everyone trying to figure out what the Fortnite numbers mean. So it says millions of people are watching a black hole. Who are these people? How does this game work? So for anyone who doesn't know, Fortnite is an online shooter where around 100 people are pitted against each other on a small island in a fight to the death until one person is left standing. A lot of time and in some cases money has been invested, particularly by the hardcore players. So people are wondering if this is the end of Fortnite or just the start of a new season. It says seasons run for about 10 weeks. It's so popular, particularly with kids, because it's free, it's easy to use, and it doesn't really take itself seriously with blood and gore and a lot of the things that you often get in huge online games. Also, it's kind of addictive. So it says here, on behalf of parents everywhere, thank you, Fortnite, for making yourself completely unplayable for an entire day. And you can imagine homes around the world, where this might actually have forced children to crawl out of their gaming chambers and spend some quality time with their parents. And if that's the case, then I do thank Fortnite for giving people that little hiatus, that little break where people could reconnect on a physical level, It says Epic Games reportedly makes up to, and this is disgusting, $300 million per month from the game. That's largely from players spending money in the game on outfits and various items on their characters, as well as the Battle Pass system, where people pay at least $10, $10 or 950 V-Bucks in the in-game currency for challenges that allow them to unlock extra content. So in terms of how much people invest in the game, it's less of an issue than loot boxes, where people pay real money for mystery in-game prizes. But a law firm in Canada recently launched a lawsuit against Epic Games, claiming Fortnite operated in a similar way to slot machines and was as addictive as cocaine. Now, that's quite important, that last line there. As addictive as cocaine. Because as weird as it may sound to non-gamers out there and people who aren't well-versed in how these games companies do hook people in, then, you might not be aware of the fact just how much of an addiction that gaming can lead to. And I hate saying that, folks, but I'm sorry, but it's true, okay? And I know there's a lot made about people spending too much time on games and everything else. I'm not saying that. But some of these games, and especially the younger ones in particular, you go and tell them to switch their console off. Go and tell them that they're not playing Fortnite for a day, for the weekend, and see the reaction you get. It's like taking cigarettes off an adult. It's like taking a bottle of booze away from an alcoholic. It's at times a violent reaction that you'll see because people just can't wrap their head around going without, in this case, a game for a couple of hours, a couple of days. And I never ever appreciated back in the day when gaming was just getting going that it would have such an effect. And listen, I'm the last to speak negatively about gaming, okay? Because A, I am a gamer, and B, when I was growing up, I always seen that this was going to be a thing. It was going to be huge. It was going to be massive. I had no idea just how massive it was going to be. But at the same time, I never thought we would have the world change to the point where childhood lost. You know, I'm not saying our childhood when we were younger was better, but it was certainly different. You know, as every generation comes along, the social norms, the current culture at the time, it dictates what being a child and childhood consists of, right? I get that. But I still think, you know, there's a lot to be said about going out there, getting dirty, digging holes, playing with your friends, physical contact, eye-to-eye conversations, as opposed to just being in the room on your own, you know, never that human touch, never that interaction that like you would have normally in the real world. I can see pros and I can see cons. I really, really can. Am I saying we should ban all games? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Everything in moderation. And it boils down to the parents as well here, folks. Me included. I'm a parent. I probably, if I'm being honest, probably should have put my foot down a lot more when it came to the console. Really should have. Didn't see the kind of problems, the time that would be lost. And it's not just me. I'm not criticising my boy. No, this is just the world we live in today. So yeah, the weekend must have been interesting for some people. I can imagine some parents out there must have just wanted to stay in bed. They probably barricaded their bedroom door because they just couldn't handle this Fortnite detoxing teenage children running about the house, climbing the walls, looking for their next fix of that cartoon shooter. Yes, indeed. So a big hello to Denny in the chat room. Miss Space Cake, see you in there as well. I didn't give you a shout out. Jules, big shout out to Jules, yes. And what's Brian saying? That means one parent needed make better rules. My kids earned game time 1 to 10 minutes by how much time chores and school took. They to this day say they only satisfied gaming when the work's done. See, that is good. Brian's got the right idea there. You know, make it a reward. And I would never tell anyone how to parent kids. Everyone does their own thing. That's totally down to people. And yeah, I like that idea. I do like that idea. I would certainly make them appreciate it more. The digital age of human cyborgs is upon us, says Connor. Yep. Mannerous, thus the term MMO. Yes, indeed. I'm scrolling back up now. See what people are saying. I read Fortnite is in trouble for making it more addictive than crack. Then they're going to have to really go after most of the games, Jason, because they looked at the psychological studies, you know, the experiments that were done with, I'm trying to remember the name of the experiment, but it's the one where they've got the rats and literally they were getting fed cocaine. And there was one where, I can't remember the name of it. Something box, Skinner box. I think it's called the Skinner box experiment. Well, let's see. I might be wrong. Skinner box experiment. Skinner proposed his theory of operant conditioning by conducting various experiments on animals. He used a special box known as a Skinner box for his experiment on rats. Here, the action of pressing the lever is an operant response behavior, and the food released in the chamber is the reward. Yeah, I think there was one where they were testing it on cocaine as well. But what the gaming industry done was they realized that to keep people playing the game and for it to not be boring, every so often you had to give them some kind of reward. You had to give them that dopamine squirt. And over time, that's what hooks you in. You want that next big squirt. And games found ways of picking up coins along the way. You would unlock different levels along the way. And of course, the next goal, the next coin, the next thing, in a very kind of attainable distance. It's not too far away that you kind of lose hope. I'm never going to get to the next level. No, in fact, they make it so that you kind of look at your clock and go, I've got time for one more. I want one more level before I go to bed tonight. Just one more go. Just one more go. And why do you get that feeling? Because they know. They know they've been targeting the right spot of the brain. There's a lot of science goes into the whole kind of gaming industry, things like that. It's quite fascinating when you dig beneath the surface. But if they're going to go after Fortnite for this, I mean, they've obviously perfected it. They've obviously just timed things specifically right, that they've aimed for that target audience as well with the cartoon graphics and everything else. And yeah, perhaps maybe there will be investigations, but the entire games industry have been doing things like this. You know, companies in general, not even just gaming. How do you make people spend longer on your product? How do you keep them coming back for more? That's exactly why social media went for the whole liking and shares and stuff like that. And you've got love hearts. How many people like your post and retweet it on Twitter? That kind of thing. You know, you go from having 2 or 3 people liking your post normally to 103 one day. And boy, oh boy, damn, does that make you feel good? And you'll keep trying to get back to that 103 shares or likes again because you want that feeling again. You want a whoa, that's pretty cool. That's going viral. It's all psychological. All psychological. So yeah. It'd be interesting to see. I know a lot of these games companies are rightly getting done for what is barefaced, you know, gambling. That they're asking, namely, children that play some of these games. Again, I've never spent money on like Call of Duty or anything like that. It's totally alien to me, spending money to get better stuff in a game. It's ridiculous. You should be rewarded for time served in the game, not for how much money that you actually have. So, yeah, I think it's EA. I think they're one of the companies over here that are getting investigated because literally it's like a scratch card. You're telling a kid, give us a couple of dollars, and it's random. It's potluck what you're going to get. I mean, that's a lottery, right? You can call it drop boxes. You can call it packs on FIFA. Call it what you want. But in the end of the day, it's still a form of gambling. Call it what you want. Call it what you will. And, of course, gambling's illegal under the age of 18 in this country, and other countries have got their own laws. And that's why they're in hot water there. And rightly so. Absolutely rightly so. But that guy we've seen in that video there, man, oh man. No offense to the guy, but not the most manly dude in the world, right? And that's the thing I want you to start thinking on. Where have all the men gone? What's happened? Have you taken a look around you lately, especially if you live in like a big modern city? Have you looked at some of the characters that you're walking past? When did, like, this new thing emerge? It, by all accounts, it looks like a man sometimes. It kind of walks like a man. Doesn't necessarily talk like a man. And acts nothing like a man. When did these things start walking amongst us? Maybe I'm on a different timeline. I don't know what's going on anymore, folks. Maybe the world ended in 2012 and I'm in some place. Maybe it's just me here. Maybe all of you out there, this stream, the billions of hours that are uploaded to YouTube every day, maybe it's all just a figment of my imagination. Because when I look around, things aren't right. And in fact, right down to the characters that we're passing in the street, what the hell is going wrong? And I ask you all, folks, and I'll let you ponder this while I go and make myself a cup of coffee, because we ain't done yet. No. I need a cup of coffee. But what happened to, and where did all the men go? I want to know. We've got problems, folks. We've got problems. And you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh. Yes, indeed. So where did all the men go? You know, before I started handing out my KBS dating tips to the ladies out there, you know, I thought that I could give them some insight into the toxic male that they may end up or not end up going home with. But little did I know that the man, literally man itself, is going the way of the dodo. Yes, there's some kind of anti-testicular agenda going on, and I'm on the case. Not on testicular cases. You get where I'm going. I'm on it, folks. It ain't going to get by me. And when you see the thing that outraged me today, that triggered me into a fit, that I must actually admit was a bit of a hissy fit. I was having a bit of a hey, what on earth's going on, guys? Oh, this is going to make you absolutely sick to the stomach. I think maybe you'll like it. And let me just tell you, with Christmas around the corner, absolutely nothing what you're about to see from the KBS fashion show in a moment is anything that's on my Christmas list, okay? So what the hell am I talking about? Where did all the men go? There's men everywhere, Kev. We see them everywhere. Look at you. Looking very toxic, sir, there with your beard. I get that. I get it. However, something is going wrong. I used to laugh and I used to joke and say that, like, there was a war on anything that had testicles. And one day, we're going to be like an endangered species. Well, we're still here. Hey, we're still here. We fight on, only in another form altogether. Another shape, another guise, shall we say. Yes, we're going to go and take a look at one of these trendy magazines. You know, the ones that certainly I wouldn't be reading. I can't afford, $4,000 for the latest sweater that some cool dude tells me I need to wear. It's not really my shopping range, right? And it's full of absolute woke garbage. Well, I tell you what, if ever the phrase get woke, go broke has applied, it surely must be to GQ magazine and their article about the feminization of men. Yes. And to front up their story, they've got a character here that is pushing the boundaries. He's a social influencer. When this guy does something, people follow. What's he doing this time? What new trend is he hoping to start? This here. Oh, yes, indeedy. The new masculinity. Starring Pharrell. Yes, indeed. You would never catch me dead in this deformed sleeping bag. Is it like a sleeping bag, like robe? What the hell are you wearing, man? In fact, let me take that back. What are you wearing, thing? And look at the face. Look at the face one is pulling there. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is the face an entity makes when he has just washed down his vegan sandwich with a nice glass of soy. Yes, indeed. I present to you Man 2.0, the soy kind. Oh, indeed. Look at this. Damn. I'm thinking to myself, Big Sid over there in Norway, Sid wouldn't make it 10 yards down the street without somebody taking him out for wearing something like this. But now I think about it, probably quite good in Norway. It looks like it's got quite a feathery down inside it. Maybe it's to prepare for the coming ice age. Maybe I've got it all bloody wrong. Who knows? But let's go to GQ, shall we? Oh, look. Maybe I'll get this little number. Damn, dude. This is what the new masculinity is all about. As we move forward into this brave new age of robots and, cracking the quantum codes of this universe and maybe the multiverse, this is what we're going to be wearing. Yep, look at that. Look at that. You should be hiding your eyes behind your fingers, Farrell. I don't know. I don't care who you are. I'm told in the article you are like the bee's knees. You were what young black men were waiting for, I read today. When you came onto the rap scene at last, it gave men somebody to look at and go, finally, Finally, somebody who looks like me. What? What? So, not that I'm triggered much yet. Pharrell, I think it's Pharrell, is it? On evolving masculinity, he says, and spiritual warfare. Well, if anyone has been the victim of spiritual warfare, from head to toe, you have been abused by some really, really dark fashion demonic guru out there. Yes, some ooga booga from the very darkest corner of the wardrobe came out and they done nasty things to you. I'm sure of it. I'm quite sure. Kenny says, I won't be wearing that. You can count non-soy on that. Not for me either, Kenny. Not the trousers, not this amalgamation of, like, I don't know, 7 different jumpers. And how dare you? How dare you wear a fake tartan? There's absolutely nothing about you that deserves tartan on you, my friend. Nothing. So it says pushing the masculinity conversation forward with one of pop culture's most influential futurists. I've never even heard of this cat. Well, imagine how enlightened I feel now that I've come across this guy. Everything that's been wrong in my world was answered today. I appreciate it now. I embrace it. I too need to dress like this, and then I'm going to start fitting in a lot better, and the world will make more sense, right? I don't know. So, we're not going to read through all of this. I wouldn't do that to any of you. But I think it's important that we do get a look at what they're trying to push, what they're trying to make trendy, what they're trying to sow into the minds of a mainly male audience, I would say. GQ magazine, you know, says, the instant I joined Pharrell Williams and his wife Helen in the lobby, and I want you to listen to this, right? They make it sound like this is the new trend for masculinity. This Pharrell, he's just your average guy, okay? You tell me what average guy has a day like this. So the instant I joined Pharrell Williams and his wife Helen in the lobby of the Hotel George V in Paris, my day becomes suddenly frictionless. The hotel door swooshes open. We step into an idling black Mercedes Sprinter van. It glides off. We slide out at the Gourmet National Museum of Asian Arts, pausing briefly at the top of the museum stairs for Pharrell to bow to a young girl, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Yes, and there we see him again in his sleeping bag with a hole in it. It says inside the museum they are waiting for us. Pharrell has come to Paris to launch an anime-inspired collaborative installation with Mr. His name's just Mr. It must be cool. It must be trendy. I'm surprised he chose such a masculine-sounding pronoun for his name. Just saying, a Japanese artist associated with Takashi Murakami Kakai Kikiko. The museum people greet us at the door. The exhibition space has been cleared so that we can hang out and talk. Now, after a while, we drift over to Market, a Jean-Georges restaurant, and they are waiting for us. Delicious, healthy food arrives at the table. Pharrell and Helen close their eyes in prayer. We eat and talk and slip out. If a bill comes, I don't see it. At Chanel, they're waiting for us. In 2015, Pharrell starred in a campaign for vaunted French fashion house. Never mind that it isn't in the menswear business. Those pesky men. We wouldn't dare. You know, Chanel wouldn't venture into that horrible market. Ugh, dealing with men. Earlier this year, at the behest of the late Karl Lagerfeld, he became the first celebrity, and of course you have to get that, of any gender, to collaborate on a capsule collection with the Mason. Yeah. Listen, have you ever noticed that as toxic as I am, that in fact, in reality, it's these people that like talk about it all the time. It's the people that go after like toxic men, they're the ones that are always obsessed with gender. They're more obsessed with gender than the people who have decided that they're not the right gender, that have identified as something else. Have you ever noticed that? These people are obsessed with gender. And yet they'll say it's people like me. I'm toxic. I'm a dinosaur. I need to start dressing like this because that's going to embrace my masculine side. I need to get with it. The new masculinity, right? So it comes down here. A fitting is going on at the altar. Who knows? Pharrell has. Here it is. This is the important bit, folks. This is the bit that's actually important. Okay. Forget everything else apart from him wearing these stupid clothes, and we'll take a look more in a minute. But it says Pharrell has been an agent of change his whole career. When we broke into the public consciousness, when he broke into the public consciousness about 20 years ago as a producer and then as the front man of Nerd, again, I must be getting old. I've never heard of Nerd in all my life. He looked different from everyone else in hip-hop, wearing slimmer jeans, more fitted skate tees, and mesh trucker hats. That might not sound earth-shattering now, but a whole generation of young African-American misfits will tell you that Pharrell Williams was the first time that they saw themselves in pop culture. A weirdo called Skateboard P, who stood confidently apart from rap's monolithic archetype. A nerd who made being different feel cool. Now, as he created hit after hit, Pharrell's wardrobe continued to morph. He special ordered a custom-made Hermes Birkin bag in inky purple crocodile, and in 2007, he began wearing it everywhere. He started wearing Chanel clothes, who, remember, don't do a line of clothes for men, and jewellery, as well as designs by cultish Celine creative director Phoebe Philo. Yes, indeed. No, probably not the top for me. Nah. And at $3,000, I would imagine it's not the top for any of you out there as well. So it goes on to say that Pharrell's wardrobe inspired subtle shifts. Whoa! Is Brian a fan of Pharrell? Thank you, Philip. Thank you very much, Philip. So appreciate that. So it says then, Pharrell's wardrobe inspired subtle shifts in the culture around him and reflected shifts going on inside him too. This deep connection between his evolving fashion sensibility and his evolving sense of self and the never-ending stream of miraculous pop music he created all the while has made him an icon to those of us here at GQ who believe style is about more than just clothes. And Pharrell, now 46 years old, has a brain that seems to run algorithms that project and simulate the future. He talks easily about masculinity, working through thorny ideas about the patriarchy, about the politics of gender and sexual identity in 2019 and beyond, about past missteps and his personal evolution. Who does that? Who is able to sit and have a conversation most of the day about, masculinity, working through the thorny ideas about the patriarchy out there? Because you just can't have lunch until you've sorted that one out, right? Many times have we been stood waiting for the bus. If only we could bloody sorted that patriarchy out. And then if that wasn't enough, you've still got to worry about all the gender politics and everything else that's going on right now. And if that isn't enough, don't forget the traffic cones. There's people out there abuse traffic cones. Because if you're going to worry about this stuff, you might as well worry about it all. That's all I'm saying. So it says here, as you'll see, I don't have to bring up the, quote, blurred lines controversy from 2013. Can anyone tell me what the blurred lines controversy was? Because I have no bloody idea. And the one where the lyric of the song he co-wrote and produced by Robin Thicke were deemed, quote, rapey. Because he does. So he speaks with an energy, a range, and a humility. Occasionally, he slows down to choose his words carefully, but there is never a shadow of hesitation or fear He thinks about this stuff constantly, and he has a lot to say. What is wrong with people that they think about this stuff constantly? You see what I'm saying? There's something wrong with them. They would say, and they make it their life's goal to remind people how important it is about all these kind of gender this, gender that, sexuality this, sexuality that, cool, and oh, we're so oppressed, and people like Kev, they're so old-fashioned, you know, they need to, you know, get hip with it, they need to... Listen, I'm not the one going about bloody pestering people with this stuff 24/7. You people are the ones that are obsessed with this. Yous have the obsession. Nobody's caring what the hell you get up to, and there's no reason nobody in their normal mind goes about 24/7 worried and stressed out and want to talk about the patriarchy and gender and sexual identity in 2019, because it just isn't what it was in 2018. And when you look back to 2015, how far we've come, but so far we've got to go. We've only got about a bajillion genders so far. We need 2 bajillion. I know there's people out there that want to identify as things that they haven't identified yet. We need to keep going. The world's gone bloody mad. Look at this. Look. He's got flowers on his jacket. I'm lost for words. There's one in there where he looks like that big rooster. Remember the cartoon with the rooster? Remember that? Yeah. It's not a look for me. I suppose I should be grateful he's got socks on. But he's got somebody else's jacket on. That's not his jacket. He's stolen somebody's jacket. The person who sold him that coat, they should be fired. It's not the right size for him. But hey, at $8,814 for a jacket that doesn't fit, if that makes you a new age man, then have at it. Have at it, indeed. Damn. So I'm going to scroll down. There it is there. What the hell is that? That's like something your grandmother didn't even dare knit for you when you were a child, right? What was that, like the rooster cardigan? I've got no idea. And what was the name of that big crazy rooster? The one in like the cartoons and things. Doesn't that look like that big crazy rooster? Doesn't it? Look. It does. I can't remember the name of him, but definitely looks like that dude. And then this here, folks, come on now. Come on. Come on, it's moved to... Look. Hang on, where are we? Look at this. I've got no words. I've got no words. What's his name? Foghorn Leghorn. That's who he looks like. Look, Foghorn Leghorn. Yep. That's who he looks like. But this here. And again, he's got that whole... That soy pout. Yeah. That face that looks like he's just about to burst out crying at anything. Yeah. Where else do we go? I mean, we could go through like the interview, but it would just take too long. There were gender fluid elements to the way you dressed long before it became a national conversation. Yes, it started with the I can pull that off thing. I wore a lot of Chanel and I wore tons of Celine, like I go all the OG Celine, because they were clothes I could fit in. When you listen to yourself and you're comfortable in who you are, you wear what you feel like fits and looks right on you, and that's it. Yeah, hey, totally, man. Have at it. Have at it. But this is not the new masculinity. Look at that there. Now, I'm a guy that is very much in tune with his emotions to the point where Anne laughs sometimes. There's movies that really aren't that sad, but I'll have a good cry. You know, I'm one of these emotional buggers, right? But never would I post pictures of myself like I'm looking cool with a tear running down my face. That's just not manly. I'm sorry, Pharrell. I'm sorry. I know people are not going to like me for this, okay? But, ladies, if you go home with somebody that looks like that, then don't come crying to the KBS Dateline when something goes horribly wrong, okay? Who in their right mind would wear that? Not many could carry that off. In fact, I think you need to have the face of a soy man to carry off this look. I truly do. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Dear Lord. Dang. Dang. Where do I start there? I just don't. I'm not even going to get into it. Holy shimoly. My old dear's got a dressing gown like that, I think. What the hell is going on? Yes, exactly, Queen Goddess. What is going on? This is just crap. Yes, well, you know, what they're actually trying to do is they're trying to get away from your stereotypical alpha male. This one here, the top 10 traits of the alpha male, a thing of the past. It's going the way of the dodo, like I say. And these are things that, bigger picture time now, the people that control the planet, these are things that they would love to see bred out of humans. They would love to see all of the following things gone. Why? Because these are the kind of traits that make people stand up and take action. These are the kind of traits that will lead to somebody saying no more. And when you get rid of your alpha males, and there's, folks, you know, we're not all bad. Not all men are evil, like the mainstream media have been told to tell everyone. Not all guys are going down the soy road and looking like Pharrell Williams and, I don't know, something you get out of a florist's. Not all guys are going that way, okay? But I tell you what, if they could, they would love to get rid of real men. And it says here, the term alpha has become some sort of popular internet catchphrase as of late. Marketers, bloggers, and everyone's mother is jumping on the bandwagon. Hell, even I have. Earlier this year, I released a book called The Book of Alpha. And you know what? It sells like effing hotcakes. People love this stuff. But what is an alpha male? We all want to be one, that's for sure. We all want to be the guy who men respect and women lust for. But these are just a couple of results of being alpha, not a roadmap to getting there. And before we can concern ourselves with how we get there, we must identify where there even is. So number one, we should probably get some music on for this. Yes, we'll get some music on. I'm trying to think what music we can have. Yeah, we'll have a bit of memology music I call it memology music. It's usually hear it on that channel. Put it there. How's that? Is that looking good? Yeah, it's looking good. So then, number one, he's courageous. The alpha male is not fearless. Nobody is fearless. We all have insecurities and fears that we cannot control. However, the alpha male is able to push on in a particular direction in spite of his fears. He may be afraid that his new business will fail, but that won't stop him from trying. He may be afraid that cute receptionist will reject his advances, but he'll go for it anyway. And yes, courage. Number two, he can control his emotions. You see how when we're talking about programming and things like that, they go directly for the emotional center, like using kids to push climate change and stuff. See how they do that? You see, your alpha male, he's able to control that crap. He's able to take it and deal with it. Says how we react to unfavorable circumstances plays a large role in our lives. If the shit hits the fan and you're fired, turn this down a little bit. Yeah, if the brown smelly stuff hits the fan and you're fired, or you're dumped, or you're viciously insulted, how will you react? The alpha male will react by taking a series of deep breaths and evaluating his next best action. He won't lash out emotionally and dig himself a grave. Number three, he has purpose. Doesn't matter if you want to be a professional athlete, an accountant, a CEO, or a world traveler, but it does matter that you want something. When we know what where we're heading, when we have a direction in life, we're filled with a sense of motivation and determination. Our days are spent making progress and striving for improvement. And this comes through in our thoughts, actions, and overall demeanor. The alpha male always has a purpose. He never just floats around aimlessly. He doesn't wait for government to tell him what to be scared of and what to do next. Number 4, he's not afraid to make decisions. The fear of making decisions is actually a fear of dealing with the consequences of making the wrong decision, whether that means eating at a crappy restaurant or investing in an even crappier company. This stems from the courage we covered in number 1, but it deserves its own number because people recognize decision makers and they identify them as leaders, and alpha males are not afraid to lead. No, the people in charge, they don't want leaders down at this level. They want yes men, women, and 48 other types of identity that you can lock into. So it says he's not afraid to speak what's on his mind. People have grown overly sensitive. Oh, indeed they have. All too often, we don't say what we're really thinking. Maybe we're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings. Or maybe we're afraid of starting a confrontation. The alpha male needs and states his honest opinion despite this fear. No, he doesn't do it haphazardly to the point where he's needlessly making people feel like crap or starting worthless fights. But he doesn't let an uncomfortable interaction stop him from getting what he wants. Number 6. Big shout out to War in the chat room. See War snooking in there. Frank as well. Yes, indeedy. Number 6, he doesn't let anyone or anything rule his life. Some people become consumed by their careers. Others are consumed by their relationship. And when this happens, everything else starts to fall apart. Their health declines, their career declines, and their relationships are ruined. The alpha male recognizes that life must be balanced. Work, love, health, and friends are all essential areas that must be cultivated in order to maintain a strong lifestyle across the board. And I think that goes for everyone, folks. Try to find that balance. Critically important. Number 7, he maintains his physical health. How we feel and how we act starts from within. If we're 300 pounds overweight and haven't slept in 3 days, then nothing else matters. Without a strong, healthy body, we cannot have a strong, healthy mind. And other people's perceptions of us will also deteriorate. After all, first impressions are everything. And what do you think when a fat slob stumbles into your path at the grocery store? The alpha male values his body above all else because he recognizes that without his health, nothing else matters. He eats well and he lifts weights. Number 8, he's not afraid to say no. People will ask you for favors in life. It's inevitable. And if you benefit from the favor if the benefit of the favor to the other person outweighs the cost of doing the favor to you, then it should be done. But these costs and benefits should be measured. The alpha male is not a pushover. He doesn't oblige or blindly oblige to the whims and requests of others. If his boss asks him to stay late, but he has plans elsewhere, then he kindly says no and he moves on. He doesn't feel the need to explain himself either. He's not saying no out of hatred or contempt, but rather because he's looking out for his best interests. Selfishness is underrated. I'm not saying to be a selfish a-hole, but if we all looked out for ourselves, then we'd be all much better off. Number 9. He acknowledges his weaknesses. If you're blind to the weaknesses, or blind to your weaknesses, then you're setting yourself up for failure. They will continue to undermine you at every step of your life until they're addressed and improved. It doesn't matter if it's a categorical weakness, like being bad with women, or a character weakness like being impatient, which is this writer's Achilles heel. Now, the alpha male doesn't get depressed about having weaknesses, and he doesn't deny it out of a sense of pride. Instead, he realizes that he's lacking and he moves to fix it. And 10, last but not least, out of all the things that are dying slowly in people with testicles, it says the final item on this list is a physical one. How we hold ourselves directly. How you hold yourself? Guys, it's about how we hold ourselves. Impacts how we feel and how others perceive us. You bet. It definitely affects how others perceive you if you go about holding yourself in public. Maybe I've just picked this up wrong. The alpha male doesn't slouch forward or stare down at his feet when he's talking to you. He holds his head high. His head high, folks, and looks you straight in the eye. And this confident, strong posture is mirrored inside of him. So I say, yes, cavemen everywhere, grow your beards, scratch your balls, fart like there's no tomorrow, and just embrace being a big alpha male. Yes, enjoy it, love yourself, man. Go to that mirror right now and remind yourself just how good you are. Yes, all that stubble you've got. Just looking at you, you know it, you're the man. Go look in the mirror. You're looking at the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. That's a song. I get that. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Some funny how women rate men, but God forbid we start. Yeah, you can't go rating. No, us males, I'm telling you, man, we're going to get hunted soon. We'll be hunted in the streets. We will. Yes, I can feel it. There'll be like apps for women. And when a man is sighted, they'll all get an alert, and it'll be like a flash mob to the scene of the crime where one of these mythical creatures were once seen. A man, you say? Ah, we can't be having any of those about here. Goodness gracious me. I mean, we only got this far as the human race with men the way they were, right? Sorry, folks, the door was going there. The door was going. My bad. Oh, indeed, indeed, indeed. Give me 2 secs, folks. I'll be right back. Yes, indeed, folks, indeed, you see. Got messages earlier on in the stream, and now you're getting a visitor halfway through the stream. I tell you, I'm in demand today. I am in demand, but before I go, I've got a couple of funny stories to leave you with. And yes, people laugh at us men. I say anything with testicles is going to be hunted in the street soon, right? Well, I tell you what, girls, you know, sometimes yous aren't the brightest kind of stars in the sky either. No, some girls out there, definitely not the sharpest tools in the box, because doctors have had to warn women about this latest little life hack that they've been taking part in. What the hell have women been doing to themselves? Doctors warn women not to use toothpaste to tighten their lady bits. Ah! Oh, what? Girls, come on. Come on, I know you want to do everything you can to keep that toxic male of yours happy, but toothpaste on your hoo-hoo? Whoa! I'm even feeling, because I can identify as a woman now, right? I feel womanly today. Man, I feel like a woman. Oh, it's hurting my, oh, it's hurting me. It's totally hurting me, folks. Dang, it's hurting. You see, this is what happens. You have one full moon and women start putting toothpaste on their hoo-hoo. What the hell's going on? Don't be damaging them, girls. Don't do it. Something smells nice. So yeah, let me just quickly go over this absolute caper of a story here. I must admit, one way of keeping things peppermint fresh, right? I'm only joking, girls. Don't attack me. But listen, when men are dying off, I think this is a funny story. It's not the world's dumbest criminals, but it's got to be the sorest life hack, right? It says from VV steaming to labiaplasty. Try saying that word after you've had a couple of joints. Some women are willing to go to extremes to attain the perfect hoo-hoo. And just when you think you've heard it all, another bizarre DIY method emerges. I bet they're going to blame a man for this. Some women now apparently use toothpaste on their nether regions in an attempt to slim things up. Unsurprisingly, doctors are warning them, as if you need a doctor to warn you, that it's a really bad idea and could do some nasty damage. Vanessa Mackay, consultant gynecologist and spokesperson for the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, said, "It's a myth that toothpaste will tighten the lady garden. Putting toothpaste into the lady garden, or the vulva, would not only be uncomfortable, but it could cause serious damage and disrupt the natural flora of the lady garden, leading to the potential for infections like bacterial lady gardenosis and thrush." Girls, my last advice to you today, don't be putting toothpaste down the stair, like you just don't care. What the hell is that all about? Or have women started like growing dentures down there? Because if they have, us guys need to know. The toxic man needs to know if we need to be looking out for incisors down there. So, folks, I hope you have had a blast today. I know I have. I think I might have one last headline. Do I? Yes, I do have one last headline before we go. World's dumbest criminals before I'm out of here. Check this out. A Tokyo panty thief denies having any interest in bras. He is absolutely raging. He's been accused of stealing women's bras, but he insists to the court, I ain't interested in those. Bums I like. I'm not making it up, folks. Tokyo Metropolitan Police officers arrested 35-year-old Yuki Endo, who had broken into an apartment in the capital's Makinda district. Now, according to investigators, Endo had infiltrated the home in order to steal panties after previously stealing 2 pairs that were hanging out to dry outside a separate first-floor apartment in the area. You absolute sick deviant. But I suppose at least you're leaving traffic cones alone, from what I know. Realising that Endo, cool name, had a particularly strong desire to acquire women's lower half undergarments, officers searched his home and discovered 78 pairs of pilfered panties. Now, in giving his official statement, Endo told investigators, "I did it for sexual satisfaction and for the thrills," while also showing that he's pretty into the part of the body which the panties were meant to be worn over. Added, "I'm interested in women's butts. I only stole the panties. I've got no interest in bras. Hey, that's some other freak. Go and get him." Well, look. You sneaking into my camera, are you? I don't know. These whippersnappers today, at least he's not playing Fortnite, right? I suppose that's one good thing. And get that off the screen. You're looking at that. I'll be blamed of making you a toxic dude. Anyway, I'm away to give my toxic male lessons to my nephew now, and I'll be back later on with the simulcast, folks. Sorry about the rushed end to the stream, but I know that a lot of you out there will be definitely loving the strange criminals today. As for the kind of life hack, toothpaste, I don't know. This is something we can get back into tomorrow. I fear this needs talking about more. What else are you girls doing out there to make yourselves a little bit more attractive? I want to know more. What other great tips have you got that doctors probably should know about? So I'll be back tonight, folks. And Queen Goddess, he is not cute. He is not cute. He is like the child from hell. Have you ever seen The Omen? You've seen The Omen. Everyone's seen The Omen, right? If you check that dude's hair, he's got 666. Look. He has. Look at him. Look. Look. Telling you. He's nasty. He's nasty, man. I am talking about you. Because you're eating my crisp. Look at that look. See, that's the look that I'm telling you. Yeah, exactly, Queen Goddess. Look at his face, exactly. I know. What are you saying to me, man? Anyway, folks, I'll be back tonight with Danny Arnold McKenney. We'll be getting into all the magnetics. We'll be getting into CERN, time, Mandela effects, or what I like to call all of the good woo. Until then, keep it real. Don't be wearing any dresses if you're a man out there. Leave the toothpaste alone, girls. And if you're looking for any of your missing underwear, probably try the Tokyo Panty Thief, right? I'm out of here, folks. I'll catch you later. Keep an eye on the channel to find out when the simulcast will be going live. 10 o'clock in the UK, though. That's roughly the time. And that's 5 p.m. on the East Coast, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. And if you're down in Australia, really, really early in the morning. So I'll see you all later.